Is it good that women can vote in America? I don't think so, and here's why.
More people need to get punched in the... As an attorney, I'll say this, I don't even go... That's all more people need to get punched in the face in public.
I'm like, this is 2025, and I'm watching videos of white men literally sitting in my face saying women are supposed to vote. Like, this is a parody. This is oh my God, this whole country's a simulation right now. This is a shit show.
With a hairline that looks like...
reality TV. I think the bigger thing that people should be talking about is the Working Families Party. I think that's what we should be talking about. That's who put in fucking work. Hey, Rav.
Hi. Hello. Long time no see.
Right? And I've been dying to talk to you because I know we're both absolutely thrilled about Zohran winning the race.
So beyond jazzed. It's the first time I felt patriotic, I think, since Obama won in 2008. And I'm not over exaggerating. Oh my God.
It's such a... we're not used to winning. And it's so... I've literally... I realized, like, I wasn't in New York City to be able to go to the rallies, and I was like, I've never had I was like, there's never been a time in America where there was a rally I was supposed to attend, like I wanted to go to. Like, this is new. Like, when have we ever had a politician that's like, oh, let's go out there and act uncivilized? We're so excited.
Oh my God. And people, the fact that he had it wrapped up, Obama numbers, like I remember everyone was joking, y'all, in 2008 and 2012, he had that shit wrapped up at 8:30 p.m. You could go to the club. Like, it wasn't we'll see at midnight, you're going to bed, fingers crossed. Like, he was flipping Florida without even thinking about it. Goodbye. Like, it was dusted and done. McCain was conceding. It was over. And the fact that was what it was for this, you could have gone to the club on a Tuesday night easily. You could have pre-gamed, got ready, gone to the club, and had plenty of time. I was just, and I'm on the other side of the country, right? In LA, and all my friends were all posting, watching New York get the mayor of our dreams across the country. We're all screaming, cheering as if it has anything to do with us, but it felt like it did, though. It felt like it did. The biggest city in America? Are you kidding me? God, finally.
Listen, I hope it means something bigger for the rest of the United States. I don't necessarily know that it does, or I'm convinced, but as a New Yorker,
yeah,
absolutely, it's a big fucking deal. Just like, regardless, it's a big deal for us, and I'm so motherfucking happy. Like, and I loved Zohran's speech. Zohran's speech was incredible, but in particular, like, when he said, yo, this is the city of immigrants, and now it's a city run by immigrants, I was like, let's fucking go.
Oh my God.
I was like, oh, pumping into my veins.
Oh, like, it felt like crack cocaine. Like, it hit like crack. It hit exactly like crack. And to have a politician who wasn't a part of the establishment Democrats giving, like, when is the last time you've heard Nancy Pelosi's retiring, like, any of these establishment Democrats give a speech that felt resounding and like a force, like a fight? Even Kamala, I didn't feel like I could point to one specific thing where I thought, oh, she's going to be completely different, or this is really solidifying. Like, of course, love Kamala, but like, Zohran, just him looking in the camera and saying, Donald Trump, I know you're watching this, turn the volume. I have 4 words to say, turn the volume up. How do you look at that and that person and think this is definitely the enemy? He doesn't want anything good for anybody in New York.
He really ate that shit.
He chewed it. And the fact that he's a naturalized citizen really hypes me up. I think that we should have an amendment on the books to allow him to run for president, but we'll see. This is day 3 of him in
I've
office.
honestly
We'll be
always
lucky-
thought it
we'll
was
be lucky
problematic
if by
to
the
not
time
allow
Trump is done,
immigrants to
there's
be
any
president.
such thing as birthright citizenship. Like, we'll be lucky if we
Yeah.
retain birthright, let
Mhm.
alone, oh, you can do more things. Oh no, baby. They're probably right now drawing up documents to prevent this from happening again. They're like, oh, all this
Absolutely.
politics? No, baby. And I wouldn't be surprised if
Absolutely.
that actually happens. Like, that wouldn't shock me at all.
Yup. And I mean, that's the thing with the Republican Party right now
Portnoy
is
says, oh, good. You know,
wait, I know. Take out the trash, go. Why all of these millionaires? That's the thing too, is I saw someone say, you know, millionaires, the number one thing that they do when they don't like someone who's running for office or in office, they just threaten to leave and then never do. Like, I am begging y'all to get out for once when you say you're going to.
Then
Please. Yeah, that'll show us.
Solve the
Like,
housing
Portnoy
crisis
is
day
the
one, I've seen
fucking
people say.
absolute worst. Also,
Yeah.
fun fact, I once dated a guy that not only worked at Barstool, got fired from Barstool for making other people like for yes, it should go without saying.
Well, first you said once I dated a guy, and I was like, ugh, you know what I mean? Like, at that point, I was like, oh, that's disgusting. Tell me more. That to get to say that I'm a man and was able to get fired from Barstool. It's like you know how hard it is to get every single question wrong on the LSAT. Like, they say that, oh, it actually shows that you're like a genius. That is what that is to me.
Listen, it was trust them, like, it should go without saying. That relationship exposed me to like I don't think I've ever had like just like a straight shot glass of just sexism. Like don't water it down. Like nothing else. Like we really hate. Like, he hated women. Like he hated women. It was like a 3-month relationship, but the sure amount of arguments we had, like, yeah.
Oh my God.
Last like I ever dated, he loved Portnoy. He was like his idol. He got the job by like basically like hunting him down, like showing up with like his like package. Portnoy thought it was like, you're a real go-getter, hires him, fires him within like a few months. And he was distraught about it for like a year. And he wanted to, Lord, please don't let this man watch this thing and then want to email me upset. But he wanted to sue. He had asked me, he was like, do you think, mind you, he had like signed the thing, can't sue, took a severance, but he was like, he wanted to sue on the basis that they were discriminating against him as an attractive white man.
I mean, a very historically marginalized demographic. I mean, when did they earn their right to vote? Do we know what the year was when they finally fought for their rights and got them? God, I would love to take up that case. Please email me, Guy. Don't email her to complain. Email me, please. We'll have some words.
He was dead ass. And I remember having to be like, look at him like dead in his eye and be like, that is not a good idea.
Yeah.
That will absolutely make everything worse, because not only will you lose, that go nowhere, absolutely whatever, but you will be dragged by everyone. You have no allies. You'd be going against Barstool. So all of the idiots that would typically like, oh, white man discriminate, like, they all hate you. And then everyone else, you have no allies in doing that. You look crazy to everybody. Just go get another job.
Your army of twos will turn against you. So please, God, do not anger your supporters. That is, I think that people, I mean, Dave Portnoy is, every time he talks, I don't have to hear it, thank God, because my algorithm doesn't show me things that he says, which is beautiful and gorgeous and lovely. But I do think that everyone who is the worst person you've ever met in your personal life, but then also the worst celebrities or personalities you ever met, having a bad day on Tuesday, just ranting and raving and so angry about someone being elected is a good sign. If that's the litmus test for, will I like this politician or not? If I didn't know a single thing about his policies, not a single one, but I looked up the list of his opposition, of all of the money and who paid it that they dumped into trying to get him to lose, I would have voted on him based solely on that and been correct. Because none of those people, Yes, it's. I mean, I. It shows that New York is obviously a very powerful city. Everyone has known that forever. I have always known who the mayor of New York is, and I've never lived there, not once in my life. I remember being a kid and knowing who it was. Like, do you know who the mayor of LA is?
Karen Bass.
I think.
Let's look. Mayor
Right? You have to look it up. We have to look it up to be sure.
and I should know. Let me mayor. You better go on ahead and lie me and no shit, Karen Bass. Okay.
That was a great poll. Nice work.
Like, I shouldn't have hesitated. I should have said it with confidence because I knew I knew somewhere in my chest, but I was like, well, it could have changed. Didn't just have elections? I don't know.
I didn't want to be I didn't want to agree with you super hard because I was like, wait, is it Bash or Bass? I was like, oh God, wait, let me pretend, let me back this up real quick. Like look.
Aaron, isn't it your job to help us?
Yeah, Aaron. Gosh.
Sometimes it's a little funny. Just to figure it out.
You're gonna let it sit.
Yeah, I'm gonna get I'm getting framed copies of this for me. We couldn't get it was sold out, but I'm gonna get like prints made of this cover and frame it for me, Aaron, and my friend Keith.
God bless.
Yeah, this guy's saying getting it printed on archival paper. That'd be interesting.
So good. It's so good. And but I also think that, I mean, with respect to that day alone, the very first
I think it's funny also, by the way, all the communists, like they're acknowledging him as a socialist while still branding it as communism around it.
I saw someone tweet, they were like, I am begging you, Google these words. I don't need you to be a historian on communism and socialism, but you need to figure out which one you hate more, because he's not one of them. Right. And he's not both. So figure it out. Oh my God. So frustrating.
Listen, we're just going to say whatever sounds scary. I was on Deborah Messing's story and I was like, wow, you're just saying like any like racist, horrible, inflammatory thing you could say.
Speaking of that, maybe this is, I don't know if this is bad. I see it as a badge of honor that I do not pay attention to every single old celebrity that I used to watch of their show, right, in the early 2000s. I don't pay attention to every single one of their politics. Like, I just don't. I don't look. I didn't think to myself randomly one night after seeing Will and Grace reruns, maybe I should look up Deborah Messing's politics. I had no idea that she was that lost in the sauce until Tuesday night, until he won and everyone was like, her stories are crashing out. Was this a common knowledge?
I didn't really know until I saw someone like post like, oh, I saw someone talk about in this story like how excited they were going to be for Deborah Messing's crash notes. I was like, let me just type that in. I was like, oh
no, that was me. I was like, wait a minute.
Like, what? My girl was really like
all of her stories are like, we have AI Holocaust victim, and then all of them are about anti-Semitism and what Hamas is doing.
Israel. She loves Israel. Like, she really fucks with Israel the long way, which I guess is her
which I mean, it just completely delegitimizes any criticism you have about anyone else, because you can't even be self-aware. So everything you have to say about anyone else is out for me. Like, even if you had a good point to make, I immediately think that you're full of it. Right. I'm paying you dust. I'm glad that some people pay attention to her enough to know that, I guess, and make fun of her. But yeah, no, that's absurd. I do think that, I don't know if how you found out, but the very first election result that I found out was that race. Oh, Zohran won. Amazing, perfect, gorgeous. And then after that, a flood of positive news. Because I was kind of in the mindset of, all right, if he wins, right, that would be great. You know, I'm feeling a little hopeful, which is weird, you know, but for me, it's a big deal for me. I still don't think that this democracy, this country can survive this administration. I still think that Trump 2028, you know, whatever, people are going to come out and vote. If they rig it, they rig it. Like, I was feeling really down in the dumps. But then I see that they're electing a Democrat to a historically Republican-held seat in Mississippi. 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 Every single county in Virginia flipping, or at least almost everyone, flipping blue or pushing blue or going more blue than they ever thought before. Republicans lost every single critical election that they were up for. And every poll, like for New Jersey, for example, the woman who is running, who is now the first. Yep, Maggie Sherrill. I'm pretty sure the first female governor of New Jersey, which is epic. She was running against the guy whose last name is very Italian, and his entire campaign was just, I'm Italian and I'm from here and she's a woman. That's literally like, isn't that you can't take her serious? Like that was basically his entire campaign push and promise. Ran a lot of anti-trans ads. They were running a lot of anti-trans, transphobic campaigns in Virginia as well, on the air, on the news, and all of that, because the Republicans, for whatever reason, thought that was their slam dunk winning issue. They genuinely thought that people cared more about that. You know, their base cared about that a whole lot. And it turns out they actually don't at all. And all of the polls before New Jersey's governor election said that it was going to be real close. They were like, it's going to be so close. Everyone get to the polls. And she won by a landslide. Yeah. She beat him just resoundingly. And they realized, oh, maybe people care more about the economy and their neighbors being taken off the streets than they do what someone else is doing in the bedroom.
Yeah.
Shocking.
You know, I think it's great. And I love that Americans are excited and delighted. I guess the way I receive it is, yeah, everybody's learned the hard way that the Donald Trump administration is bad. Like, that's, to me, I don't care what everybody else, what sauce everyone wants to put on it and the nuance pull out they want to put it, what it is. To me, everybody's learned the fucking hard way. Go out there and fucking vote for the Democrat candidate. Look what the fuck is going on. That's what that means to me. And it's a little bit just like, great, but also maddening. Like, yeah. And I'm just like, oh, great. But like, I'm an immigrant. So like, it's like, oh, you already fucked us. You already fucked us big. You already fucked us big, America. Like, so, right. You know, I'm like, I'm happy about Zohran, but fuck y'all. Like,
absolutely. Yeah. I agree with you, because it also feels very obnoxious and annoying that people have such short-term memory loss. How every single time that the Republican Party, a conservative base, has held Congress and the presidency and the courts and just resounding sweeps, everything has gone to shit. The economy always crashes. You want to know who was in power the way that they're in power right now? In what was it, 1929? The Republicans. The last time they held everything like they do was then. And what happened? What happened? Yeah, I think we all remember, right?
And what administration led up to the 2008 housing bubble?
Right. And I'm like, we didn't even get a roaring 20 this time. There was no roaring. There was no 20. It was COVID, and then we got shit on. Like that's my problem, is like, we didn't even have a good excuse. Like, I agree with you. It hurts. It hurts so bad to realize that most of America quite literally needs to have the worst case scenario happen to them and their bottom line and their neighbors or their friends or community. They can't put themselves in someone else's shoes, or they can't see the future. They won't believe you when you say, hey, so if you elect this person, they're going to do this. Let's give him a shot. And then he did it after telling everyone in America, yeah, I'm going to do this.
And like, we knew better. We've been dealing with him for quite literally almost like 10 years. Trump's been around.
10 years.
That was Trump's third time running for president, and he's won once. Like, there was absolutely no reason not to take the fact serious. And people just, and I get it. And it's like, you can't say that without the conversation. Everybody just want to Kamala campaign, like pick it apart a million times. And it's like, whatever. I hear you. And all that could be true. And it could still be utterly fucking ridiculous that y'all allowed that fucking result. Like, it's just.
And before that happened, I'm like, he led an insurrection on the Capitol. Like, we had people break into our Capitol and hunt people to kill them, politicians to kill them, on our former president's word, because he convinced everyone the election was rigged, and it was resoundingly proven, and has since been resoundingly proven so many times that it wasn't rigged and that he lied. And there were all these texts that proved that, oh, he really needs to do this. Like, everyone wants to bitch and moan about Kamala's campaign, and I'm like, we need to I don't think that that's why I'm so shocked, to be honest. I thought that would be a deal breaker. but
I'm
whatever.
like, at the end of the day, like what people like, it's like the people want to pick her campaign like apart in a vacuum as though she was running against the progressive of their dreams. Like that's the thing. If that were the case, if Kamala lost to Zoran, this would be like that would make okay. Then these killer critiques make sense. But it's like a competition. An election is about who you're competing against, and look at what the fucking other option is. Like, how is it possible? Like, we're like, it's just like staggering. And I think I'm at a place with America. Like, what I realize is I've been in America since 2008. Watch like just living the experiences of Americans being able to do whatever and have no say, and it hurts you as an immigrant. And it was always like it's been an upsetting thing. And 2016 was like very, very upsetting, the results of that. Like as an immigrant, I was upset. But I think there's a 2024 feels like times 10, because I feel like I think, you know, you feel more like you were using your own platform, your own voice, your own running on. And it's just like now I'm just like I'm kind of I just have this I'm tired. I am tired, and I just also don't feel in a place as like as an immigrant. The things that are happening to immigrants is out of this world, and you as an immigrant can't say any. It's dangerous to speak, and it's very frustrating to me that it's like, oh, I'm supposed to speak about all these other things that concern the Americans, but I can't speak about the things that concern immigrants, and and Americans are not going to speak about the things that concern immigrants. So it's just like, and then they're like, oh, look how great this is. I'm like, oh yeah, okay. And in the backdrop, you know, that's why I don't comment on that, and I just stick to I'm really excited about Zoran. I'm really happy about that.
Give me some deliverables first. You
know? Yeah. Like I'm gonna need a little bit something more.
I feel like a lot of the blue slide also is what happens in every cycle of elections, which is people get tired of what's happening because it doesn't work. So like the moderates and the people that flip-flop one way or the other, or that don't go out to vote, will go out to vote because they're like, the Republicans they're doing it again. So I'm a vote for the first time in 8 years and go vote for the Democrat because we need to switch. And then the Republicans will do the same thing next time, unless we get more Zorans capitalizing on the Democratic flip.
Yeah.
Like there's always an opportunity to use the flip to your advantage, but it rarely ever happens.
What should be a part of the national conversation? Like, I love that, like, it would be nice if Zoran represented it, like something like much bigger and beyond New York City. I'm not necessarily sure that's true. And I think a lot of people are saying I don't really like know the landscape of New York City politics and whatnot. But I think the bigger thing that people should be talking about is the Working Families Party. I think that's what we should be talking about. That's who put in fucking work. That's whose work to me is proof. Absolutely. That's what this is actually proof of. What the Working Families Party, of the amount of wins they had, because it wasn't just there. That's what we should be talking about. It's like what the Working Families Party has shown they're able to do and how they're able to play. Like that's what we want. Like that's the third party shit we need to be talking about.
Yup. Because what bothers me so bad is I'm like, the reason why unions exist, the reason why workers, employment laws exist, OSHA exists, why we decided, hey, maybe people shouldn't have their arms cut off just so we can get a hot dog every now and then, right? Working in the factories. The only reason why any of that exists isn't because it was somehow positive for very rich people in power to be doing that. The reason why is because working class people by the numbers have so much political capital simply because of the amount of people that they make up. The fact that, yes, everyone's always talking about the 1%. Yes, they are the 1%. So start acting like the 99. Stop accepting that for example, the Democratic establishment, right? I mean, you can talk Kamala's campaign, but I also feel like, the amount of working class people who vote for Donald Trump, who vote for that or the other thing, okay? Different conversation about the cognitive dissonance there, but the idea behind it is also that when the other side, the other option, right, the Democratic option is just, hey, we're going to go back to how it was before. And every working class person stared at the TV and went, well, that was ass, right? Nothing has been excellent and incredible and amazing. Even when Obama was president, he couldn't get a lot done. He did, of course, the Affordable Care Act absolutely was a long time coming, needed to happen. Only got through because of fucking John McCain. Are you kidding me? Don't piss me off, right? Don't fucking piss me off that he voted yes and, you know, went against his base just because this was good for working families. I mean, it I think hopefully will at least be the starting point for a wave of Democratic politicians who are, look, I love a young person I love someone who looks like they are closer to me in age than my dead great-grandfather, rest in peace, all right? He died, mind you, in 98. That's how all of these politicians look to me. They don't look like they need to be young enough to care about the future. They don't have one presently, so they don't really give a shit. I think that a younger Democratic political base is so much better, and I also hope that they'll use that as a trigger point for, maybe if we just don't call ourselves socialists, but we start presenting policies that sound really great. Free buses, free school lunches. They just passed in Colorado on Tuesday. Everyone's going to have free school lunch in Colorado. If you go to school there, that sounds amazing. We're just going to present this the same way they used to present firehouses, how we're all going to pay for firefighters and we're all going to pay for school libraries. And people will vote for it because they can feel the difference. The working class is the only class that matters right now.
Right.
Also getting 100,000 door knockers to knock like 3 million doors.
Yep.
Like the real working class organization behind it, instead of like getting 17 million texts from Nancy Pelosi and guilt trip emails about, oh my God, it's so dire. We need your money. We need your $5.
We don't want your vote. We just want your money. We don't want your vote. I never got a, hey, please vote. I always get a, hey, please donate. And also it's always, hey, we'll raise $17 million from like 3 millionaire billionaires, but then use that for ads that you see, and then you're just sitting in your living room for the rest of your campaign. Like, talk to people who actually are going to be voting for you. Talk to a cab driver at 2 a.m. That was the secret, and they're all floored.
You know, and that the thing is, I think it's very clear, and I mean, we know this isn't like in any way groundbreaking, but it's like it's not just a matter of that they don't get it, they're against it. It's very clear, like Cuomo and them, they understood exactly all of Cuomo's, Eric Adams, all these like Hakeem Jeffries, all these Schumer, all of these people, they understood what Zohran was saying, and they actively don't want him to be promising. No, you don't like this platform. They're against these things. So it isn't even just a matter of like, oh, we present these under a different name. It's like, no, we don't like that shit. So the only thing is to get rid of them the way they're getting, you know what I mean? Like what, one at a time in group, I don't know, gradually a process, but it's like, that's what's going to happen. It's like eventually like there'll be more Zohrans in them or whatever in the party, AOCs in them, the squad and these people will be more common than they are not. And then eventually it'll change. But as far as getting these current people to switch up, they made it very clear when Hakeem Jeffries and Schumer and all these people, they fuck Zohran. Like, you're not gonna muscle me into saying I like that guy.
Well, the reason why isn't because it's not because they're like, oh, these policies are bad. It's because the way that they got where they are is through money spent by people who are they are in the pockets of people who are going to be anti all of these policies. They're in the pockets of a few people you can count on 2 goddamn hands that are controlling the quality of life of millions upon millions of people simply because the optics of us, supporting someone like Zohran, all these people are going to stop funding our campaigns. Take one for the team, bitch. I don't give a fuck anymore. Like, I'm tired. So then give up your seat. I don't really give a fuck. Like, if you need $20 million from the biggest asshole Mr. Beast type billionaire to win your seat, then maybe you shouldn't be there. We need to self-reflect. We need to get these people out. Genuinely, like, time is our biggest blessing. Right? Father Time, you can't beat him yet. Like, unfortunately, it's like we just need to wait until these people start retiring, like Nancy Pelosi, or getting out.
Yeah,
it sucks, but
I'm like, at least you're retiring. They don't like to retire. They like to just die in office.
Literally die on their chair and then also get reelected while they're dead. That's not dying isn't even enough. They'll be propped up.
I don't even get it, because if I had the amount of money that Nancy Pelosi had like 20 years ago, I would have retired at like 50 and nobody would have seen me ever again.
It's not about money, it's about power.
It's about power. And also people are like, don't they want
to... Or if you want to look in the worst light, power, the most positive light, like purpose. You know what I mean? Like that's what
Mhm.
the RBG's arguing, which was arrogance on arrogance on arrogance. But she felt like no
Yep.
one else could do my job. Like I needed to do this. No one could do what I do.
Yep.
That's what she thought.
Well, Amy Coney Barrett is your best replacement now, girl. How do you feel about that? Like, now what? Now what? Yeah, I agree. I also
She really
think
fucked up
because
big.
people always say, I hate that woman so bad. People always say, oh, well, why don't they want to, like, if I were that age, right? And I know, like, my parents are younger than these people. My grandparents are their age. I'm like, man, if I were that age, I'd want to retire and, like, hang out with my grandkids, my families, and everyone clocks in to go, you guys, they fucking hate their families and their families hate them. Like, why? It's always these politicians whose families are voting the exact opposite way, or these people's families who, like, they haven't seen them in years. Like, they do not give a fuck. They don't like their families. They hate everyone. They just want to be in front of a TV camera looking gently alive. Truly.
I mean, how many people, like Republican man's daughters, do you see on TikTok now being like, wow, my dad sucks, guys. Like, I hate my dad. He's taking money from these people. Like, I literally see videos from politicians' daughters who are going to never speak to them again.
To think you could give birth to your biggest op.
Yeah.
I swear to you, like, I think
it's so funny. I'm like, yeah, fair.
The closer I get to like having children, the more every time I see somebody's child talking bad about them, I'm like, oh, anxiety, Jesus Christ. Like, imagine this, like, I gave birth to one of you gonna be my hater in the comments, like, oh, fuck.
Right. But that's the thing is, like I always, no matter what, when it's like, you know, a child or whatever, just going off on their parent, especially when they have like a fully, formed frontal lobe. When they're 17 and tweeting, I'm like, okay, canon event. I'm not gonna comment. But when they're fully developed, right, and they're realizing, oh, all of the policies of my parent were literally horrible. Reagan's daughter, for example, was very close to him when he apparently was a good dad in the sense of just, father-daughter kind of dad stuff. And then when she grew up and she realized how detrimental his policies were, she didn't speak to him for like 15 years. There's like a video of her crying at his funeral, but like it was like she was like angry tears because she was so angry at her dad and the legacy that he left. She was his biggest fucking op. And anytime I see that, I always know that the kid has some fucking points, because I'm sorry, as a parent, when you're like, yeah, I mean, I did everything I could. No, you didn't. Like, why didn't you listen to your kid for 5 minutes? Unless your kid is an incel Nazi, you probably were an asshole. Like, realistically, you probably sucked.
I'm trying to think, like, if my parents were like great parents, like emotionally solid, did all the things, but I found out like they were poor rulers of Langham. I'm like, would that change things? Like, if I found out
they got rid of affordable college, they kicked out a bunch of mentally ill people onto the streets, and helped the homeless crisis get worse.
They planted crack cocaine in Black communities and then arrested them for it.
But they were good to me. But like, they were nice.
But they were good to me.
They were available at my events. Yeah, like that's like, this is the hypothetical. Like, they were fat. Like,
yeah.
We are sure they were good. Like, I really fucked with them.
Right.
And
you didn't know. You're 12. Why the fuck should you know about...
You probably couldn't get me to go out there and slander because my parents weren't perfect, and I don't talk bad about them. Like, online, I'm like, not great. We edit out any honest commentary about my parents. We edit out of every episode.
Yeah.
So, I also think it would be hard to convince me. I think if my daddy were a ruler of a land of any kind, right? Like, if my daddy were a politician and he was a bad guy, like he was a Reagan or like a dictator of any kind doing wicked shit, I feel confident that my daddy would have done a bang up job in indoctrinating me into believing that, like into believing like in his badness. Like I would be hard pressed to find myself not be as bad, like just also bad, because my daddy in present world is really good at saying something problematic and making it sound perfect. Like one time my dad,
get him in office. How old is he? Let's go.
My daddy, one time, this was before my daddy is freed from homophobia now, but he's a Nigerian man, so this was a while. I mean, back in the day, I remember my daddy sitting at the table and he was like, he was talking about like why I wasn't right to be gay or something, and he was like, well, Amy, if you walk backwards, you may still make it to your destination. That doesn't make it the right way to walk. And I was like, you fucking spinning now, daddy. I feel like, wow, this man makes it sound so
oh my God.
poignant. Like,
oh my God, that is so good. Yeah, I mean, like, look, listen, that reminds me. It reminds me of the Judge Judy quote where she looked a man dead in the face and said, "If you were the prize at the end of my race, I would have walked backwards." Shut the like. She was like basically telling him to shut up. Like he was like, "I'm, you know, I'm the best she's ever gonna get." Blah blah blah. She was like, "Sit down." Did you see the video of that really lovely clearly a black grandfather or like a black uncle who was talking about whoever was running in, oh God, what state was it? Was it Virginia or Kentucky, somewhere, Atlanta, maybe Georgia, something like that. And they interview him on the news and he's sitting there and he goes, yeah, like the woman that I vote for, you know, she's doing some good stuff. That other lady, she need to go somewhere and sit down. She was so mad. And everyone was commenting on it like that is the biggest red flag, like from a black grandfather, is for them to say you need to go somewhere and sit down is crazy. And she lost, period. But God, like just away with words, truly.
Was it like Winsome in Virginia? Was that it?
It was something. There were two women running against each other. Oh my God, wasn't it? Maybe it was the. Gosh, was it the mayor of Detroit potentially? The first woman mayor of Detroit is a black one, so that's cool. She was just elected, and I believe that the woman who was running against her is a black woman. Maybe it wasn't Detroit. If some people are going to be in the comments yelling so hard, you guys, I don't have recall like this sometimes. Okay, there are a lot of states. It was like the woman who was running. It was
through every state with black people in it.
Hey, California has black people. Fucking whatever. It was like the other woman who was running against this chick was a black woman who was very MAGA. And you know, anytime you see that, you're like, shit, man.
Winsome was MAGA as fuck. I don't know. I didn't know there were others.
That was her. Was it her?
I only know about Winsome in Virginia. Oh, Winsome.
Maybe.
Yeah, Virginia.
Yes, then it was her. Then yes,
MAGA
it was her.
Governor.
Then yes, it was her.
Yeah.
She needs to go somewhere and sit down.
That
was the comment.
And does. And she does.
Love that.
And absolutely she does. Speaking of people needing to go somewhere and sit down, Aaron, you had Marjorie Taylor Greene stuff to show us, right?
I also wanted to bring up this clip of Andrew Cuomo's brother because it was just so funny.
When I was a teenager, Bush was the president, and I fucking hated Bush.
This is Chris.
Why would you ever invest that in anybody else?
Because they killed 1 million people. When I was a teenager, Bush was...
So great.
There was dead air.
Look at this.
Was the president. When I was a teenager, Bush was the president, and I fucking hated Bush.
Hey, why would you ever invest that in anybody else?
Because they killed 1 million people. When I was a teenager, Bush was the president.
That's funny as shit.
He just didn't know what to do with that.
He thought he was about to get him. Like, I'm so evolved. Like, you don't need to hate people, brother.
They say that, and then
this was the last thing I wanted to do. Adam Friedland, yeah.
Okay.
He also did the Richie Torres interview.
Yeah, I didn't see
everybody
it.
was like, Richie Torres is so strange.
I intend to.
It's like, this was the last thing I wanted to bring up specifically about people talking about the Mamdani campaign, is there was a small movement of men that were like, maybe because so many women voted for Mamdani, we should repeal the 19th Amendment.
More people need to get punched in the. As an attorney, I'll say this. I don't even give a fuck. People that don't realize. More people need to get punched in the fucking face in public. I am sorry. Like all of these boys would have been literally jumped by every girl in my class who used to walk the mile with me. They would have jumped you if you would have even mentioned this shit in a social studies class, period. And now they have microphones.
The girls that walked the mile. That's
Literally,
so
the bitches who walked the mile live with their grandma would have killed you with a gun. I'm sorry, like it would have been done. Look, I do not advocate for violence, but you know what, y'all will know what I fucking mean. All right, why the fuck are we letting people talk like this? Okay, now play the bit. Play the clip.
My dog Cleophas woke me up to a knuckle sandwich today because I took too long to walk him, and so I walked him. I got a knuckle sandwich and I walked him. It worked.
Hey,
listen, action.
Is it good that women can vote in America? I don't think so, and here's why. Nearly every legalized moral atrocity of the last 100 years was made possible by the female vote. Abortion and homosexuality would likely still be illegal if not for the female vote. Mass immigration and the welfare state rode on the backs of the female vote. Nearly every modern Democrat, including Obama and Biden, were elected because of the female vote. Even last night, the new Muslim New York City mayor, Mamdani, won specifically because of the female vote. The 19th Amendment has been a moral and political tragedy for America, but why? Women were not made to lead, but to follow and to feel. This is God's design, and it's good within the family and the household. But emotions cannot be what is used to rule and govern a nation. Statistically and generally speaking, women vote for whatever feels most kind.
They're all men. His examples of people, they were elected by it. They were like, he's saying, oh, they shouldn't be used to lead, but you're saying they elected men. But Obama and all those people, Mamdani, all those people.
They elected the weak, emotional men that shouldn't have been elected, and men wouldn't have voted
They
for.
elected all these minorities.
Mm-hmm. Right. And
it's really
just because
I hate women train is here.
I mean, men have just rebranded anger as not an emotion, and people have said that a million times. But I mean, anyone. Like women leaders around the world, it's not everyone, but a whole lot of them have done very excellent in literally every other country, NATO country specifically, right? If you want to go bar for bar on, we need to look at countries that are comparable to the U.S. It's like everyone else has had leaders that are women, and we've been the only one.
Look at the newest Mexican president.
Sometimes I be like,
the new Mexican president is doing
I'm so sad
wonders.
my grandma died, but I'm so glad. I'm so glad she's not around to see this. But also, I wish she were so she could get her "I told you so" off. Because my grandma told me this country was the fucking pits when I remember when I presented, my parents were like, "Please let me move to America. Let me go to school. I want to live over there." Blah blah blah. My grandma was like, "Lie me. There's Europe. There's all these countries. Look at this other country. She was showing me, go there for school. Go blah blah. My grandma's like, something is in the water there in America. Something is wrong with them.
She was so real.
I'm like, this is 2025, and I'm watching videos of white men literally sitting in my face saying women are supposed to fall. Like, it's a fucking parody. This is Oh my God, this whole country is a fucking simulation right now. This is a fucking shit show.
With a hairline that looks like
fucking reality TV. Fucking.
This guy does look like he was cooked up in a lab to hate women. Like,
but his hairline looks like a vagina. There's a labia in the center of his forehead. So I don't know why he's so pissed off. Also, it's always the like black aggressive wedding ring on the hand of these people doing it.
Right.
As if like, and I'm like halfway fucking convinced, honest to God, that they pay fucking actors. Like, I understand that women date men specifically who hate their guts, hate them down all the time. That's right. Look, unfortunately, I love all women, not everyone, but I can't support all of you because some of you are dumb as hell. But I do think that when they get to this level, like even Charlie Kirk's wife now, I'm like, were you a paid op? Like, were you someone, like, are you just throwing this wedding finger on to get men to think that you respect women enough to marry one? So even though you are wanting to take away rights from women, it's fine. Like, people respect married men. I talked about, oh my God, someone talked about this the other day, and it pissed me off so bad because it's correct in that men who get married men only benefit from marriage. They are respected more. They get benefits from the house, from the home, gender roles, no matter how progressive you are. Like, there are so many ways in which marriage and having children is social capital for a man, and for women, resoundingly, every study, no matter what, women always have to trade off something when it comes to marriage, no matter how great the marriage is, when it comes to their job, when it comes to their life, everything. And so that's why I'm convinced that all these assholes with podcasts just throw a wedding ring on to get some respect from the bros, because somehow people take them more seriously as long as they're not like a single asshole dude. But then the Andrew Tates exist, so whatever. Good luck.
Because the whole thing is just.
So you chose
America's the
America
pit.
because why didn't you I'm over here
Didn't know
like,
better.
I mean, I didn't know better, but like,
Didn't know
oh
better. My
God,
mom thought it was closer to the. My mom thought like she didn't want her 14-year-old daughter was gonna move to a different country. I think she thought America was closest. Like I first went to Florida, so you see Florida is 30 minutes to an hour away from the Bahamas. So that initially, and I got further and further away. But originally, my mommy wanted me as close as I could be if I were gonna be in a different country.
Yeah.
And you know, I
Life's a
think
trip.
you know what I don't like. The thing I find irritating about America is this: as somebody who was born in a different nation, and even though I've been in America now since I was 14, I'm 32, so I've been in the majority of my life now. But born and raised in a different nation, and you just hear about how America markets itself to the rest of the world. I think that's what like people don't realize. To come to a country that's so anti-immigrant and hates immigrants so passionately on its soil, but it marketed itself to the rest of the world as a melting pot. And this melting pot in this first world nation, and this just so you have so much more than everybody else. All under opportunity, you're so advanced, you're so advanced, you're so advanced. So for me to be here, like in a nation full of fucking idiots, like that fucking believe in just dumb, just all of it's just incredible. Just access on access and just use to spew fuckery. And I don't mean like the people, I mean the nation at its core. Like the spirit of the nation, like the spirit of America and what permeates into the rest of the world. Like really? Like what are you watching? Like you can't be the people who was calling my country a third world country. Cannot be. And then you get it and they're like, oh, Tylenol causes autism. Oh, women should follow. And I'm like, you know better than the Christian Council back home.
Every single positive thing.
That's my little tirade.
Yes, no, I agree, because every single positive thing that's come out of America, what it's been since it was created, right? Our very young, preteen ass nation that we are, acting as if our problems are somehow novel when every other country in the world is like, yeah, we've been here, we've been new, you know, we've been around the block. Every single positive thing that has come out of this country has come because of immigrants, period. Immigrants, period. We are a country of immigrants, period. And so for the rest of the world, we got so many people to come here and then contribute to how incredible our country is. And then we took all of that and said, ooh, we didn't mean that. We need to go back to just Americans being here. That is a fantasy world. That doesn't exist. There is no one here except for Native Americans who are not immigrants. Those are the only non-immigrants here. I'm Polish. Yeah, I didn't come over here when I was 14, but my great-grandmother did. She came on a boat. What? Sorry. What'd you say?
I think my best friend Mark is Polish.
Oh my God, I love my Polacks, baby. My whole dad's family's my whole dad's family's from Chicago. Did you know Chicago has the highest concentration of Polish people in the entire world outside of Poland?
Yeah.
Yep. Outside of Poland has the highest concentration of Polish people in the entire world. We are a country of immigrants, and just because some of those immigrants yeah, fun fact, we chose a place and we stick together. We were like, we're going there. I don't know why, but yeah, listen, when the Pope, like I called my grandmother. It was so funny when they found out that this new Pope is from Chicago. They're very Polish Catholic, right? Mind you, Eastern European Polish Catholic. There's not a lot of hugging going on. Okay. It's a lot of vodka, a lot of cheap Polish vodka and frowns. I called her up. She's still alive by the grace of whatever Lord is up there. And I was like, did you hear the news? She goes, what? Screaming, what? I go, the Pope, he's from Chicago. She goes, I gotta turn on my TV. I'll call you back. Like literally, it was her Super Bowl. It was her Super Bowl. The fact that at her Catholic mass, the next mass that came up, she was in her Sunday best. She had her, oh my God, the gossip, right? Oh yeah, I knew him. I know the Pope. For any Catholic person, Polish Catholic person in Chicago, you know that was your grandma's Super Bowl. It was everybody's Super Bowl. We were so excited, so happy. But what kills me is the people who are part of those immigrants, right? Even me, I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm white. I'm the whitest white of all whites. Like, I don't have to do a 23andMe. It's 23 in white people. That's all I know. Okay, 23 whites that were in me. That's all I know. It's upsetting. It's upsetting for sure. I hope that my ancestors are spinning in their graves like a 7-Eleven hot dog at the things that I'm talking about and doing if they were racist and awful, right? We can only hope that I'm their karma. But I just don't understand how you can look at this country and think no immigrants, no immigrants, no immigrants, and know in your heart and soul that 2 steps removed from you, 2 generations up, you had someone come to this country in exactly the same way that everyone else is, that you are wanting to get out. It makes no sense to me.
Right.
We all learned this when we were kids. We are a melting pot. And New York City, everyone's talking about, oh yeah, it used to be, you know, like 94% white, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, if you would go back in time travel to 1920 and tell an Italian person that they were the same white as someone who's Polish, who's Slavic, who's Czech, who's Irish, who's Scottish, they would have killed you with a gun. Like that, the racism was there. It was just different. Like it was white on white crime. Like that, I'm like, that's what kills me is people act like we used to be a country of whites and we really didn't.
You know, like the picture, like it's like a cartoon, and like they kill them, and you say with a gun, and a gun just pops up in their head. Like,
yes,
like,
I will kill you with a gun. Like that is what they would have told you. Like stop. Like this whole. I just look. The revisionist history kills me.
Oh my god, you know the Looney Tunes, they're like, yeah, get him, see, like little Copper. That's how I picture it, rap.
Yes, and that's exactly what it is. Someone please make me a cartoon. I'm begging you. I'll pay you money.
Give her a big hat. You gotta make her small and give her a big hat.
Any fan animators
and
out
a
there
big trench coat and a gun.
Literally, I will kill you with a gun. I know, God.
I don't know why
I love that.
So funny to me. Watch you should be like add suitability.
If I drop merch next week with that on it, I'll give you a cut. I'll be like, thank you. Thank you so much.
That'd be so lit. I'd settle for a giant T-shirt. Like, yes,
love.
Kill you with a gun.
Final topic.
A
tweet from the guest herself.
This wicked bitch. This wicked witch of the wicked bitch.
So, context.
Say you don't believe in the QAnon conspiracies anymore?
Oh, I went over that a long time ago. I mean,
you've changed.
Well, no, I haven't changed. I was a victim just like you were of media lies and stuff you read on social media. You all have attacked me many times on this show. Because of things that you read about me. That weren't true.
Or clips we've seen.
Or clips you've seen
that
took me out of context.
What was that about?
No, but
wait, hold
not
up.
even true.
Let's take a second.
Yeah, it's been
I'm
rebuffed.
getting the.
Say you don't believe in the.
She's a whole white supremacist. Why are they even doing
if you want to read your own words.
This is what I said. I said the reason she's on this weird random shift of sounding 20% sane instead of the usual 0.5% sane isn't because she suddenly grew a conscience. Trump shut her out of running for a Senate seat in Georgia, and she's been on a bitter revenge tour ever since. Girl, get off my screen, which is true and correct. At least AOC, well, we know it. It's confirmed because Marjorie Taylor Greene came out after AOC exposed her tea, like very defensive and angry, which just means that it's true. AOC went live like not too long ago before Tuesday, I believe, and said that because everyone kept asking her, hey, she's one of your nemesis. What's going on? Is she switching? Is she trying to talk to the Democrats? Because she keeps being very vocal, Marjorie does, about how, it's not the Democrats causing this shutdown, it's the Republicans. Like, she's just turning very oddly. And she's been licking Trump's boots for so long in very egregiously brainless ways that people are like, what's happening? And AOC said, you guys, she wanted to run for a Senate seat in Georgia so bad because the incumbent, his name is Kemp. Yeah, his name's Kemp. He is not running. He announced that he wasn't going to be running for Senate in 2026 back in May. So they're hoping to unseat a different, Democratic senator. They're trying to do all this, shifting in the Republican Party. And so Marjorie Taylor Greene thought that she was going to be the shoo-in for it, because she has done everything and then some to sell her soul to every devil, number one being Trump, and say whatever he wants you to say with her red hat and her bad Botox and her horrible eyeliner, and, you know, being the ones who are just, yeah, if I just do, maybe if I'm a woman, a part of the party that hates women to their core, maybe they'll throw me a bone, is not the career move that you think it is, because sure enough, she was forced to announce that she wasn't going to be the one running for the seat. And in her announcement, she sounds bitter as hell. She said, quote, "Yes, I'm competitive. Yes, I love to win. And yes, I know I would win both the primary and the general. I'd enjoy proving the elites wrong every single day, but that's not what motivates me. It's not about crushing the establishment again or flipping a seat just to help the Republican Party. It's about the job itself." She's blaming the billionaire-backed uniparty Republicans who skip key votes to attend fundraisers and let her agenda fail, blah, blah, blah. She's basically been saying who's never said a bad word about Trump ever this entire time since 2016 and beyond. Since then, because Trump and his party were like, no, we don't want you in Georgia, get fucked. She has been critical of him, has suddenly seen the light and realized that the Democrats don't control the weather, which she was one of the people who actually started that rumor. Do you remember when she was like dead serious hopping on during the hurricanes like last year? And she was like, the Democrats genuinely control the weather, everyone. And everyone was like, this woman is an elected like she's elected for a congressional seat. Perfect.
The Bill Gates weather machines.
She's insane. Like she's it's not that, oh, she's a Republican. She's batshit insane.
The microchips in the vaccines.
There are microchips in the vaccines. I mean, she said that the word white supremacist was the same as saying the N-word. Right.
I was gonna say, listen, I am tired of people talking. Like, this is what I don't even understand. I just don't. I've had a problem with this the whole time. Why are people talking to white supremacists they don't need to talk to if they're not going to talk? Like, here's my thing. I'm not. Let me correct for myself. I'm not against the view having Marjorie Taylor Greene, the white supremacist, up there. If you're there to treat her and talk to her like she's the white supremacist, not to allow her to spin some fucking narrative that y'all, one or two of you gently push back while the other of you prevents you from doing that. Like, what the fuck are we on about? This lady is a fucking white. This is an adult bitch. She cannot tell you no. Oh, I believe things on the internet. Bitch, no, you're grown. You've been a grown, old, saw-faced racist this whole time. This don't got nothing to do. You was racist before the internet was thought about.
Yep, absolutely.
Lady.
She's 51 years old. And, you know, I used to remember, like, she has come out to say, that's the thing, is like, it's not even, it's the victim complex, firmly saying, yeah, like, I'm rocking with the white supremacists. She spoke at a white supremacist rally. She was the keynote at a rally of white supremacists like a year or two ago, I swear on my life. And after the fact, when people asked her about it, she's a Klan member. It's not hard. And I remember, I mean, look, this country's always been racist, right? Like, we, you know, in so many different ways. But there was indeed, I remember I grew up, even in small town in the middle of nowhere, Illinois. I remember when, like, on the History Channel or Discovery Channel, whatever, they would only rarely run like a random, like, you know, sketchy documentary where they would have like a reality TV person like drive to the middle of the sticks in the most racist country where the Klan was, where they were all like incestuous. And it would like be on the news of like, oh my God, can you believe that they like interviewed KKK members? It was like a controversial thing. And they were always like, they're the KKK. Now we have them in office.
Now they're in office
and now
we're being invited on people's podcasts and The View.
And we're giving them policy power. Like, it just, and people are like, on Twitter and stuff in response to my tweet are like, well, you know, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. I'm like, but she's not the enemy of your enemy.
You will never
be
get
serious.
Anywhere. Like, this is what I'm saying to you.
You guys, like, we didn't like open her. We didn't welcome her with open arms. Like, we didn't welcome her. Welcome who? Why the fuck would I do that? Just because she doesn't think the Democrats control the weather? Are you joking?
I'm just, I grow weary. I grow weary of this nation. Like, you see what I'm saying? In the sense, like, oh, like,
I'm exhausted. That's how I feel. I'm just like this. And even when good things happen, like on
these people
Tuesday,
are
I'm like,
cartoonishly bigoted. Like
mm-hmm,
Marjorie Taylor Greene is a fucking like cartoon character level of
mm-hmm.
bigotry. Like, what are we on about? Like, that's
Yeah.
never supposed to. You shouldn't even allow her to get that off. Oh, I was a victim like you of things you see on. Girl, what the fuck? You're an elected official running around racist. Oh my god.
Yep. Like it's
America,
like an
like I said,
experience
This is
that
Olay right
everyone. Thank you. Exactly.
This is Olay right now.
No,
exactly.
Like, when I tell you,
what caught up in
God,
their
like,
lives.
I'm trying to like. Here's the thing. I realize like American politics has always been draining and never been of like my particular interest. Like my interest is in policing and criminal justice and policy as it pertains to those things. And I'm particularly like what's locally happening around me, why I care about New York City, XYZ. I realize like I am much best served to people and myself if I do that kind of like, you know, educational kind of advocacy of, you know what I mean? Like these particular kind of policy things, these particular kind of politicians, should they converge on that? But outside of that, I can no longer take Americans and the foolishness, because what are we on about? Fascism is on fucking side, and you're inviting the bigots on the view. Like, I can't take it. And when I look Gavin Newsom's next to him, like, kick it, my son likes you. Like, what the fuck is this? What the fuck is this? It would be like, you know what it would be like? You know, like in Harry Potter, like once the Dementor, like the Death Eaters really get cracking. You know what I mean? Like once we know, like we're officially at war, Voldemort and us, and it would be like Neville and them hosting Voldemort and them at dinner.
And saying, you guys, this is racist against people without noses. Like, let's just like hear them out, like really quick. I don't need to. I'm good. I'm great. This is ableist.
We want to. The Death Eaters are open to like a more middle.
I invited Thanos to the podcast today because we didn't have a person of purple here.
I mean, that's what they did to Charlie Kirk. They were like, but you guys, he invites people with different views. Yeah, no, literally. It's like, oh, Voldemort invited Harry Potter to dinner. Like, why do you hate him so bad? Well, because he's Voldemort. That's fucking why.
Right.
Like, what the? I don't care who he has at his dinner party. I'm not kidding.
Like,
you're the first. I mean, everyone always. I mean, even my parents are always like, politics. People always like politics, and I am so glad that I mean, obviously the attorneys that I know who are practicing attorneys, I've never thought like, nobody did this that I know and hang out with, or people that I work with. Nobody did this to get into politics. That is my nightmare fuel. The only singular reason why the content that I posted since I started, you know, doing my dumb little videos while I was studying for the bar in 2020, like the only reason why it intersected with politics is because the law is inherently political in the way that regular people think of politics. They think that talking about, for example, unhoused people is political. Like, oh, don't bring politics into it. And I'm like, I'm not. I'm bringing property law into it. I'm bringing Fourth Amendment into it. I'm bringing our individual rights into it. Like, that is not, nothing about what I learned in law school. The professors I had were very excellent and brilliant, and they're actually, I mean, I'm still close to them to this day, God bless, that I was really lucky. They, like, I didn't feel like anything that I was learning about, or even when I, you know, started practicing, was political in the way that people see it on CNN. It's political because it impacts society. And I felt like, oh, I'm finally in a career that was meant for me, because I feel like I can really make a change. Like the cases that we're on and the things we do in court and outside of court when it comes to our communities, when it comes to local prisons, local jails, bail reform, etc., that literally can change within 1 week, or someone's entire life can be changed based on one singular court order, a temporary restraining order. And in politics, I'm like, the reason why I have to talk about you, Boo Boo the Clowns, is just because you are the reason why so much policy that should be enforced around me that would make it so much easier to do our jobs and to advance social justice, you are ruining our lives, and you don't, or you do nothing, right? Like politicians will be like, elect me and I'll get something done.
And I only care to talk about politicians as a means to an end. Like, I have no interest. Like, I don't have like a never ending library of information, and every politician is in politics. Like, there are people to me who like and follow and engage with politics for like like the sport of like people who are into football and they're watching the podcast about it, and ESPN and Fantasy and this and blah, 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 blah. It's like people like the sport of politics and this one and blah, blah, blah. I could give a fuck less. I don't care about Eric. Like these people like Eric Adams. Once I realized like, okay, we've done enough damage. This man is not going to be elected. You don't see me talk about him. I don't give a fuck. I don't care.
I don't
like,
give
you know
a
what
fuck.
I mean? I'm like,
Yeah,
I want
literally, I
Zohran
don't
to get
care.
elected, but I'm not just going to talk about him all day. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care about the blah, blah, blah. I care about, to me, it's like this. I care about issues. I know what I care about. I care about bill reform. I care about policing. I care about prisons. I care about, you know, all this and the next thing. And then I look at it and I go, how can I make these other people care about this thing that I care about and like push on this? And I'm like, I usually have to anchor it around a person. So it's like, okay, I'm mad about stop and frisk and Rikers and all these different things or whatever. And that's happening because of this goofy ass mayor. So, okay, we'll make it about him and anchor this in a way that people will find interesting and entertaining and engage with. But I don't give a rat's ass. So that's why and so when I see these people, then I'm like, why are you engaging with them if you're not really gonna like make sure you don't come to play? Like for me, it's like I don't mind. I've no obviously, like I sat across from Eric Adams. I don't think they shouldn't engage with these people, but it should be a particular like if somebody is a certifiably bad character, not just like, you know, we have a difference of opinion, you know what I mean? You're more liberal, I'm more left, or blah, blah, blah. Not these things where it's like, oh, you know, different strategy. There might be something to talk about. When they're certifiably bad, like they're a fucking white supremacist like Marjorie, or, you know, they're bringing back stop and frisk like Eric Adams. Why are y'all in their face like, Tell me what you're supposed to come there with like ready. Like this should be, you know what you're there to do. If I feel like if you're not gonna be Mehdi Hassan about it, get out their face. That's how I feel. I'm tired of seeing like it's even Yeah, like it because I think it's like people aren't taking into consideration like the time we're living in. Like, for example, like Ziwe just put out her Eric Adams interview, which was really entertaining. Ziwe does funny things. She's really dope. I don't mean this is any criticism against her. But in a time where there's a reason why he agrees to do an interview like that, like they're kind of in on the joke. They know at the end of the day, people think if I think a politician is cool or funny one-liners, he's getting ready to go out of office. They're looking to create some kind of brand, attention around themselves. Oh, do you like me on the internet? That's why it's going on Andrew Schultz. That's why it's going there. That's why I go in these places. And I just feel like these kinds of politicians, people inherently, that's why I tell people propaganda isn't just when the cops are being praised. It's also when they're made to look silly because you don't take them seriously. You don't believe like this unserious like characters doing all this evil shit. And it's like when you take figures like Eric Adams who've done evil things, like they do evil shit, like bring it to me, I think it's insufficient to like, you know, just make faces at them or like do a little remark. They're not going to build up because the people who don't know that information, they don't know what they're watching and they're not going to learn that from there. And they're not going to know like you asked that because he did this evil thing and because he's not giving you he's not going to admit to that. You're not going to push back on that. And it's just going to be, and they're going to move on. And it's just like a funny thing. And it's like, you know, I don't know how I feel about that in this particular climate.
I completely agree with you. Unironically, I've put your sit down on that radio show with Eric Adams as like I put it on the TV all the time as like background music because it's been in my watch history on YouTube and like I'll be getting ready to do my makeup and my boyfriend will be sitting down and be like, oh, this one again, like good one. I'm like, no, it's great because I mean that's how I feel in the sense of like there's like around, you know, it's not just like identity politics to me. It's like any type of political realm that isn't inherently intertwined with like the law, right? When I'm thinking of, okay, I chase policy, I chase initiatives, like I support and like the ACLU does, right? They're not propping up lawyers for you to support. They're propping up cases and issues and rights that they're protecting. Right. And this is a good policy because X. And it's not centered around a person that you're investing all of your time and energy and money into. And that's why, like, I just, even right with Zohran and even like again, support the policies that he is pushing. That's why I appreciate him. I like that he is of my age group. I like that he's young enough to not have dementia early onset, right? Immediately on day one of his goddamn job. I'm really stoked on that. But I, you know, like people will be so proud and happy about, you know, like, again, like people who wear like political merch, for example, freaks, like, I think is weird. I think with Zohran, it's a different story because this is a groundbreaking moment where someone like him has literally never won the seat before. But like, I'm not repping my Biden-Harris situation. Like, I think, yeah, I love that. I would wear that. But like, when people are dead serious about like their Biden-Harris situation, I'm like, look, I will never base my personality or my politics around a singular person that I don't know personally. I don't know what they do in their personal life. If weird sex comes out, right? Like if weird text messages come out between them and a staffer, I don't want to have to go, wow, I'm shocked. Like policy doesn't cheat on me. Policy isn't going to be a pedophile. Like it's not going to be. And I don't trust anyone enough to think that they're not just doing what they think is going to poll well, right? Like if, for example, politicians who weren't racist in pre-civil rights era and during the civil rights era and even after, they might not have been racist, but all their staffers were like, well, it's polling really well. And they were like, okay. Like, let me just be a little racist right now. Like, it's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. You know, it's like the pride people, like not the pride people. I love you guys. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about the companies during the woke era. You know, everyone's like, woke is so back when put the pronouns back in your bio. When all the companies during Pride used to do like the rainbow stuff, you know, because now they don't really do it as much anymore. It's like the only reason why they were doing that isn't because they actually cared. It's because it was polling well, because they were making money. Like, politics
I want you to know, as you're here making this excellent point, I immediately started. I was like, let me go buy me a Hot Girls for Zohran shirt.
No, honest to God.
Like,
Can you get me one?
Get me
one. Wait, you just reminded me. Oh my God, speaking of that. Mine's already on the way. Look, first thing I am is a hypocrite. One thing that I forgot to tell you, or thank you for reminding me, is so you know your old, you're not your old friend, I guess, but Alex Lola, I know I'm mentioning his name, but Alex Lolo, he did a shirt, the Don't Talk to Cops shirt. Do you remember like a long time ago with that company, Entry Level, and you did a shirt with them, that was really popular. Clown. Yeah, the Eric Adams like clown shirt.
Me and my wife both got one of those for free. I have them still.
Oh, great. Well,
he gave them to us for free.
Well, guess what? I'm gonna get you guys my new one for free. I was gonna ask and to make sure that I asked for your shipping address because I have to. No, not his. They remade it because they basically put out a statement and said we're taking off.
I know.
Okay, good. I didn't know if you knew.
They made it with you.
I don't. Yeah, they made it with me, which is cool.
Wait.
That's so dope. Hold on, let me. Is the design of it? Can I see the design?
You go look at it. You type in it's Entry Level LLC. If you Google them, it's on their front page. So not only is it obviously I wanted it to be a female lawyer because listen, stop trusting male lawyers. I don't know, but also 20% of the proceeds are being donated to the National Women's Law Center, which is really great. They're an intersectional basically organization.
That's so cute. That's so cute.
Yeah, so it's like the same but different, and I wanted to make sure that it was actually going to a cause this time. And it comes in a bunch of different colors, it's cute. It's a cartoon of me. Yay, yippee. And you know what I said
love
too?
This.
Thank you. You know what I said too is, you know how his version made the attorney look like super haggard and like running really fast and sweating? I was like, can you make it?
Like
I'm not running.
Looks glamorous.
I was like, I'm not. I don't want to look like I'm about to lose. Thanks. Like, I'm good. So so I'm gonna send. I have so many. Anywhere. Yeah, I have so many. So just email me, Aaron, after the episode. Let me know what sizes you guys would prefer and what colors, and I'll send them to you because you guys can get free ones. I have free ones. Like, damn.
Oh, big fucking lit. Aaron.
That's great because this has been sitting in my closet and it's been like a bedtime shirt because I'm like I can't wear this where people will see me.
I know so many public defenders so many public defenders that I know in LA have his old shirt and they're like, I'm so pissed because I can't wear it anymore. Blah blah blah. I was like, we're gonna fix it. And you know what? Any male lawyer who's afraid of having a female lawyer on the front of their shirt shouldn't have been doing anything anyway. So yeah.
Stop what you're doing and listen up. You just watched a video on one of my channels, but the Illuminati verse is huge, and I want to tell you what everything is and how to find it. The Illuminati verse has 6 channels. On the YouTube homepage of any one of those channels, every single channel in the Illuminati verse is featured at the bottom of the page, so you can always easily find them. Okay? Remember I said that. Don't say I ain't tell you how to find it. Subscribe to my main channel, Illuminati, to find my Illuminati productions, which are my long-form video essays, and also all of my backlog of content. Subscribe to my second love child, Illuminati Pop, for my weekly video essays analyzing my favorite TV and movie shows and characters. Illuminati Pop also has its own Patreon where you get all of those videos uncensored. Subscribe to my channel, Olay and Friends, for my podcast, Olay and Friends. New episodes of Olay and Friends come out every Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern. Subscribe to Olay and Chill for new episodes of my podcast, Olay and Chill, every Tuesday at 1 p.m. Eastern. And also, both Olay and Friends and Olay and Chill are both available on streaming platforms like Spotify. Subscribe to Illuminati Bites if you want my takes, but you don't have an hour to spend. Subscribe to Illuminati Politics for my political analysis and my State of the Union type addresses on my show O Squared. And last but not least, subscribe to my Substack Illuminati for my written work.